It's that time.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on.
We talking barbells and brews in here. Every week talking fitness and how to get this favorite beer. They feature a brew every week. On top of that, give you tips on keeping your stomach flat, looking sleek. Chaz and Gene got you covered on both scenes. You'll be curling 16s and mastering your cleans. You ain't gotta listen to no one else. They mix fun with education to better yourself. What more could you ask for? Hit subscribe if you wanna keep your lifting and drink game live. Your workout lacking, your diet need help. With Barbells and Brews, leave your worries on the shelf, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, it's Barbells and Brews, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, with Chaz and Gene, you can't lose. Come on.
All right, so welcome to the inaugural podcast.
Seriously,
the first episode, right, of Barbells and
Really?
Brews. We're gonna play this out, see how this plays out. But
we'll try it out.
for
you know?
today,
just the
I'm the host.
introductions. You're the host.
today I'm the host, Gene
You're the
Volpe.
host.
This is my sidekick partner in crime, level 1 coach,
Level 1. Yep.
level 2, level 3,
No, level 1.
Chaz Dembrowski. Say it for me.
Dembrowski.
Ah.
You're already getting it wrong.
I don't like it.
That's all
We're
right. You can
changing
change it however you want,
We're
pal.
changing it. Chaz Mataz. It's my sidekick, Chaz Mataz. So I guess we probably should start. If you're watching live on Instagram or on video, you probably see the beers in front of us. So the show is called Barbells and Brews. I would like for you, if you remember how you wrote up the mission statement?
Of course I do.
Why don't you explain the mission statement before we get into anything fun like beer and like talking about what we just did?
Yeah, right. We got to do the serious stuff before we get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, let's talk
right?
about that. So why don't, since people are listening, they're probably saying, "Who the hell is this dude? What are they talking about?"
What's with the bald guy in the beanie? That's another one. The bald guy in the beanie. I like that.
Bald guy in the beanie? I'm not against it. So tell them what the mission statement is of this bad boy.
So we're in the gym right now, as you guys can see or can't see.
We should probably name it.
We should probably name it, right? So we're in the famous Paul Bunyan Fitness Gym out here in Newtown Square.
Yep.
Good old host and the gym where we currently work out. And we were thinking, as someone in the health and fitness field myself and you in the media field, that we wanted to create a show where it was the people who were doing this type of fitness stuff to reap the benefits, to be able to go home afterwards and say, you know what, I put in an hour of good work here. I got a workout in. I was sweating. I felt good about it. So I can wisely, of course, treat myself, and that this show is for those people who work out and they're healthy or they want to get healthy, but they're real about why they want to get healthy. A lot of people come up with these outlandish ideas, and they kind of sit here and think, I want to get healthy for this reason or that reason. When in reality, we all want to get healthy, or we all want to work out to have a beer afterwards.
Or multiples.
Or multiple beers.
Right.
Or beers and maybe pizza or something of the sort.
Yep.
So you know what? This is going to be the real show where we talk about fitness, we talk about health, but we do it while drinking beers because we want to show that fun, loving side of the people who work out, who go home and have a beer.
And so while we're doing that, we're going to bring in some new stuff every week.
Yep.
I think in the beginning it'll probably be local stuff to where we're at, Philly, and the outside suburbs, western suburbs. If people in Delaware are listening, holler at your boy. Dogfish Head.
Absolutely.
We can do all that stuff. South Jersey, whatever you got, bring it. I know we're going to have probably Sterling Pig come on. We've been in talks with them. They're going to come out.
That'll be one of our guests here, of course. Yeah.
I would think, and we're going to taste test their beer. I think so. What we're going to do is we're going to start talking beer a little bit throughout the show. We're going to definitely do health and fitness. We're going to talk right now. This is being recorded at the end of
19.3.
So why don't you explain that a little bit for people that don't know what we're talking about?
So for those of you who are not in the CrossFit world, which, trust me, which is more than fine. We actually are all inclusive here at this gym. But so 19.3 is one of the open workouts. Every year there's a CrossFit Open, for those of you who don't know. And this Open is 5 weeks, one workout per week to see where you measure up in the world, actually. And we are in the third week of that open workout. So we just got done. We were just sweating a little bit for about 10 minutes here.
I know you can't tell. Like if you're watching this on video, you can tell how good I look. It doesn't look like I was just sweating.
Dude, your head is shining, gleaming.
And actually, if we're being honest, I only did 55 reps.
It's okay.
It was a half-ass
55 reps is 55 reps. It's all good there.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was hard, dude.
I was with you, so like I didn't get to see how well you were doing.
You were way ahead of me.
Oh.
You lapped me. You were
Listen,
next to me.
I tried to look at you while I was upside down on that wall, but I was too busy failing my reps on the wall.
Yeah, while I was still getting up and down on the box, which you were way ahead of. Listen, my quads are going to be smoked tomorrow. I know that much. But this is fun. Like for me, we talked about this before. The CrossFit Open, whether you drink the CrossFit Kool-Aid or not, or you're afraid of it, because there's a lot of people out there who go, "Oh, CrossFit's a cult," right? And it is, and I'm perfectly okay with it.
Let's be honest, it is. It's a very tight-knit community.
Yep. Yeah, but I think this for me, this 5 weeks of the year, I look forward to every year because it's like you compete with each other and yourself, but it's fun. You know, like a guy like me is not going anywhere near the games unless they get me to volunteer to help them move sandbags, right?
As long as you're completing the application online to coach or judge or volunteer at the games and move equipment.
Yeah, which I haven't done. But, if they pick me for something like that, that's the closest I'll ever get to the games. But it's just fun to see your progress every year. This is my 5th year, I think, I've done it.
Wow.
And, yeah, if you look back at some of my numbers, like the first year I did it, I think I skipped 3 of the 5 workouts because I wasn't here. I didn't care. Now it's like really important for me. I wasn't going to RX tonight. I wasn't going to do the prescribed workout. I was going to scale it. I ended up doing the RX. It was hard as hell.
Which sometimes is the thing that works out best. So, see you guys.
So everybody's departing.
Yeah, everyone's leaving. So.
And your wife is looking at us like we're crazy.
Well, she's what she's got in her hand? My coaching check.
Your coaching check.
So
so you get paid for this?
So she's not for this. That'll be down the line.
Yes, sir.
But no, as a coach here at Paul Bunyan Fitness, yes, I do get paid.
And is she going to go ahead and spend that at Chipotle right now?
She might.
She might. She was
spend
talking
it all,
about it halfway through that workout. She was going chorizo.
Listen, she was mentioning the topping she was going to put on her.
I know.
Salad.
I'm not lying to you. If she's sitting down there, I'll see her because I might be going after this.
Hey, I probably will go after with you too.
Listen. While we're talking about the fat stuff, let's get into the fat stuff. So let's actually take a look at the beer of this week, which you're going to laugh, and because you just said this to me. Where'd you get this? It's a local brewery called Conshohocken Brewery, right? And actually, if you're a sports fan in the area, I think part owners of it is Glenn Macnell from – I haven't heard him in a while. Maybe he's not on WIP anymore, but he used to be on WIP. He does Sundays, I think, with Ray Didinger. I love listening to it. But he's, I think, a managing partner or a partner in it. I don't know. So the one we have today, again, if you're watching, and as we get better at this.
Let's take a look at this.
As we get better at this while you're opening it. We're going to have live stream on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see this stuff. We'll post pictures of it with the episode.
See, I'm a millennial, folks, if you didn't know. So I like the visual representation, and I like the meaning of it. So I'm looking at this can right now, and to be honest with you, it's awesome.
You like that?
Oh my God,
dude,
I love it.
There's been a huge turn in the last 6 months to cans.
Have you seen the artwork on cans these days?
Yeah.
And I am all for it.
Yep.
Like, I love it. Now I know you'll have your old heads that we're gonna call them, or your OGs like we're gonna call them, and you have your guys who like, I just want the can. I don't care what
the
it looks
purists.
like. Yeah, the purists. Which listen, we're here for a common cause, right? And so. Listen, the other thing too, Gene, that we're going to have to get right is our pouring here.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
We're going to have some critiques about.
Listen, I've been a drinker for a long time. I know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm the young guy here, so you're going to have to help me out here.
So first of all, the head on it is like orangey. Let's toast real quick and see what this looks like. So podcast 1 and many more.
Podcast 1.
Right. So here goes. This is Mr. Robusto by Conshohocken Brewery. It's an American porter. So let's see what this talks about. Well, first of all, it's nice and cold.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice after a workout, right?
I mean, what else do you need besides cold?
Chicken wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Chicken wings.
That's right.
So maybe
Just
next week.
combination.
So I've been meaning to talk to you about this, Chaz. Maybe next week and moving forward, we skip the health and fitness and we just do a chicken wings and beer show.
And you know what? Our viewers would probably be all for that.
They'd love every second of it.
Of course.
Of course they would. But so we'll stick with the health and fitness because I do like to drink my beer. I like to drink my wine. And I like to drink my beer, which I said a couple times because I like to drink my beer.
And you're not even like a sip or two into it, and you're already
this is good.
What you're doing.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how this. Oh, I'm wetting my computer and everything. I'm interested to see how this plays out. Like I know it changes complexion.
Well, this is going to be like like a live research study, which I'm all about.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
How quickly are these bad boys going to metabolize?
Well, wait. Here's what I was
our
thinking.
workout. Right
and here's
now.
what I was thinking. Like I can't wait till the first one we get that's awful, and we're both like, dude, we can't even drink this right now.
Seriously.
Right? So So let's talk to me real quick about. So I have an idea. What kind of beer do you like? Like when we go into the next one, are you an IPA guy? Are you a porter guy? What do you like?
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm the young gun here, out of the couple, if we're going to say it, couple here.
You're allowed to say that, but I think you should say it because if they're watching us on video, they probably think I'm younger.
Yeah, probably.
No, I doubt it.
Nah. I mean, the wrinkles give it away, but I don't know.
You don't have to go along with it,
I don't know. Well, you know what? Like, listen, I'm trying to be nice, so when I do bust on you, it seems a little bit more genuine, you know?
I'm okay with that.
But, no, honestly, you read my mind tonight.
Yeah?
The darker the beer, the better for me.
Oh, all right.
The full body, the better.
Yep.
I'm a guy who likes his beers dark. And you know what, the ABV I don't care too much for. It doesn't matter to me. It could be low, it could be high.
I do if we're driving.
Well,
like
course.
one's not going to do anything, but if you're sitting and drinking, sometimes those 11.4s are.
Yeah, and
with.
we'll even start that out here. We are obviously both, by the looks of it, and on our driver's license over 21.
Oh, that's a good point.
So we should also mention that as we're sipping these. I'm not playing it off as the Benjamin Button of the crew here, as I'm only 4 years old but look 20.
Yeah, no, and I know I look closer to 21 than 43, but I will be 44 in a month.
No,
I don't know, 2 weeks.
Happy early birthday.
No, let me see.
Oh, man.
Actually, we're talking about.
Is it bad that you have to look it up when your birthday is now?
Yeah, I don't know what
It's
year it
gotta
is.
be
Nah,
terrible.
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I mean, with the kids and everything and hustling, like after this show, I got to take my oldest to her first babysitting gig.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're getting old.
So wait, she's actually kind of odd. We were talking about a cult in this gym. She's going to Mike and Aaron's house, and she's babysitting Mike and Aaron. And
That's
I won't
awesome.
say their last names, but Mike and Aaron remembers this gym. We've gotten close over the years. I helped them in a roundabout way sell their house recently. I'm not a real estate agent, but I deal with real estate. So, I mean, you know how this. And look, man, you were doing a podcast where we're drinking beer and talking health.
And that's the thing. Like, I applaud anyone who's getting in the gym. I applaud the mother and father of 5 or 6 who are getting off work and they need 30 minutes to sweat. I applaud the 16 or 17-year-old kid who's trying to better himself while he's in school. I applaud anyone who can get into the gym. But I think the awesome thing about gyms like Paul Bunyan and other gyms in the area, maybe not even CrossFit, because we're Paul Bunyan Fitness, so we have like a little bit more of a holistic model here, but is the community. The relationships that you develop and the relationships that you build on throughout the entire time here is kind of what the important thing is at the end of the day. Like, I mean, you think of it, we work out for about an hour, but how many times do we see people staying after talking, catching up, shooting the
It's
stuff?
going on right now in the background.
Exactly.
It's going on right
That's what
now.
I'm saying. Like, so for your daughter to be able to find that connection in the gym it's amazing. And I think that's kind of why we do it in a sense, you know?
Well, yeah, and I think I remember when I first started, I was always like, I was really big into getting into the mindset behind CrossFit, and in the beginning, I was probably that guy. How do you know when somebody does CrossFit? Just wait 3 seconds, they'll tell you.
Oh.
I was probably that guy in the beginning. I don't do it anymore because I learned real quick that people look at you goofy, and it's not for everybody. I don't like mustard.
It really isn't.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's
isn't.
Not.
It isn't.
But like you said, it's just, I think the part of the show is not going to be CrossFit centric. It's going to be about, I mean, listen, we can get into some of these stories. I think as we get better at this, we're going to have TVs going, and I can show pictures of me before and after.
Yeah, we would love to have the visual aspect and start to compare.
Yeah.
Because you and I both have life-changing stories that we could easily explain on here about how we got into health and fitness and how we were before we found a passion for just working out.
Yeah.
And why we also think it's cool to be able to drink a beer during the show, because we've been through that journey and we both have stories as well as everyone else does about how they went from this to that.
Yeah, and I talked about my daughter, and really, we can get into some of it now. We can lay out some of the groundwork for the way this is going to play. But back in 2012, I was 40 pounds heavier than I am now. Like, I joke all the time when people say to me, like, what do you do to stay in shape? And I'm like, well, clearly it's obvious I'm a CrossFitter. And I'm not a big guy. I don't have muscles, right? Like, so it's a joke, and people always laugh, and I don't get offended, so it doesn't bother me, right? But the reality of it is if you saw what I looked like prior to doing it, I'm not some big hulking strapping dude that you look at and go, wow, the dude's in shape. But if you look at what I look like compared to what I was,
it's night and day.
It's night and day. No, it's night and day. I look like, well, I tell you one story. When we were in here in the old place. So we're in the new gym now. We used to be back by the Memorial
Yes,
on
we
Westchester
did. Yep.
Pike, right?
Much smaller space.
Much smaller. This place is crazy. It's so good, so amazing here. But when we were there, the owner of this gym, Ryan, used to make me play my video every once in a while because people would come through and see the transformation that I made.
And that's the thing is you can only buy into something that you believe in.
Yeah,
And
and also that works for me, right?
Yeah, because it's not also you can't go to everyone and be like, hey, pull up your picture from a year ago and show everyone what you look, because unfortunately people have those insecurities around how they look, and we all feel a certain way about our image, and so for you it's a little bit easier than some other people.
Well, and also just to talk night and day, how we don't jam it down people's throats. My wife has seen the transformation in me. Oh, my blood pressure's lower. I'm in better shape. My business has gotten better because of my health. When my health is straight, everything else is straight, right? And she's seen it, and she won't come near this place. Yeah. She's afraid. She's afraid of it, and she's afraid she can't do a push-up, can't pull a pull-up. And I'm done having the conversation. Like, it scales for everybody.
Yeah.
So listen, you do what you need to do, and she'll tell you. Like, there'll be times where I miss a week, and she's like, "You're like a little bitch right now. Go to the gym." Like, I can tell it's because you don't have those endorphins
It
going. And your chemicals fine.
becomes a lifestyle for you. And it could be the person who's going to what we call Globo gyms, where are those gyms you pay a fee every month, you go into, you work out, and don't get me wrong, you can lose 100 pounds at those gyms just as much as you can lose 100 pounds at this gym. But it's from those people all the way up into those people who are trying to be like the fittest they possibly can and be competitive with that fitness, whether it's powerlifting or CrossFit or Olympic weightlifting. And some people, it doesn't work for them, and that's completely fine. And at the end of the day, people find what they like and what they want to do.
Yeah, and listen, we've had people that come here from other places.
Yeah.
The Globo gyms, as you said.
Of course.
And we've had people that have left here to go there.
Yeah.
To me, and I think you said this at the beginning of the show, it's just about being healthy and being your best self. If it's
That's
CrossFit,
all it is.
super. If it's skateboarding, fantastic.
If you're playing in a rec league for basketball every week, and you're sweating for however long you need to sweat for, and at the end of the day you can come home and you can feel healthy and you can be proud of the effort that you put in.
You can have a beer.
And you can have a beer at the end of the day without feeling too guilty about it. I think that that's the case. Now, I also want to preface it by saying, giving my short but busy span in the health and fitness industry, I also want to make sure that we get clear the message that we also need to look at those statistics and those vitals that you talked about before. Your blood pressure was better. You were moving better.
Right.
It works. And at the end of the day, the better shape people can be in, the longer their life. And that's been, preached here and out. But at the end of the day, too, at some point you're going to go regardless. So why not enjoy a beer with a friend?
Agreed. No. This is just an extension of our lives at the gym, right? It's a great thing. But you know what? I think as you're talking, we should probably, and make sure, just turn that this way, right? So it's like this way. Look, pointing right at. So let's actually give a little background on what you do, and what. So who gives when I was telling people that we were starting this podcast. I don't know what this says about me, but they automatically knew that I was the beer guy. Right? So if I'm the beer guy, that means you're the health and fitness guy. So why don't you give me a little bit of background? Why do people give a shit?
Well, you know what? I'll give you the pretty cliche story. I was an athlete from a young age, all the way up to around college, but I was always someone who liked to move. And something happened in college. What happened was I was recruited out of college to go to a Division III school for basketball. And
I've seen you play. You can shoot.
You should have seen me back then. Right?
Oh, I believe
Glory
it.
days, right?
Yeah,
but so I went there, and I was all about it, getting into the whole college scene, and enjoyed it. I went to tryouts because at that point, even if you're on scholarship or even if you were given money to go, you still had to try out. And so at the end of the tryouts, I went into the coach's office, and we were talking and having a good time, and he broke the news. He said, "You know what, Chaz?" He's like, I think you might need a year." And I'm like, "Need a year?" This is a kid who, I played basketball religiously my entire life. And so when he told me that, it gutted me. And it gutted me, Gene, to the point where at some point I took the negative turn, and I was like, you know what, I don't need this for me anymore.
Really?
I don't need basketball.
So wait, what year was this? You were in what? Third year college?
2000. No, even younger than that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And freshman year, he said that. He's like, you don't need this kind
that
of
was
thing.
It.
And for me, instead of being the guy who was like, you know what, let me push forward into this, I took that whole negative route where it's like, I don't need basketball anymore.
Oh.
And
If
then
basketball doesn't want me, then I don't want it.
Exactly, right? Which
Yeah.
we have a lot in the gym. You know what? Like, if I can't do this, then I don't want in. Like
Yeah.
your wife, right? I don't want to
Yeah.
do a push-up. I don't want to go there.
Well, I'll
It's
give you
not
a
for
perfect
me.
example. How about the guy we have here? I won't mention his name, but he refuses to do double unders. He said, "When will I ever use this in real life?" Right? And I'm like, I can't argue that.
No, you really. What do you get out of your car and you need to hop over some running animal after, and it's a double under type jump, and you
Two
got
foxes? Like
two
two
foxes
foxes.
under your feet as you jump out of the car. Like no one's ever going to use that in real
It's
life.
pretty funny, and it's a tough one to argue with, but it's like that concept of like, do I need it?
Yeah.
You know, and especially if, like like you said in here, there's movements here that are very difficult, especially for me. My mobility sucks. It always has.
For
But
everyone.
yeah, no, everybody's got their challenges, right?
Yeah.
And it's what's interesting about this. Like for a guy like me who's skinny and can row, some of those workouts work well for me. Where you got the guys that are really stubby and short, not as stubby, not shorter and stubbier than I am, that have a hard time rowing because it's just a long man's game.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Of
Whereas
course.
that dude who's short and stubby can snatch.
Yeah. Now who's the health and
700
fitness
pounds.
expert in this talk? I like it.
Huh?
I said, now who's the health and fitness
Oh,
expert
listen,
in this talk?
well, here's the thing. I always said I could coach this from a logical perspective because I've learned enough here to know how the body works and what the best positions are. The problem is nobody would believe that they could listen to me because
Because
of the way
they're looking
I
at you.
look, right? Yeah, right. Listen, I like to
Oh,
drink
my
my beer.
God.
I'm 44
Listen.
years old, man. It's around the waist. I got that spare tire. It is what it is. I'm okay with it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, listen.
Is your blood pressure, your heart rate good? Your insulin levels okay?
Let me
your
tell you
blood
what
sugar.
else. I'm happy as shit. And it has to do with good family, good health, good people at the
That's
gym, all the chemicals that are released when you do these things.
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
It's all these things together. Business is better when I walk out of here after a noon class because my phone calls in the afternoon go a lot better.
Yeah.
And then you know what I do at 6:30 when I sit down and eat? I have a glass of wine that I enjoy or a beer.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And so people say to me, like my wife will say, "You're delusional," and I'm like, "No, I'm optimistic and I enjoy myself
Yeah,
in life."
that's it.
Right?
That's all it is.
That's all. That's all it is. So back to basketball.
Back to basketball, right? So
talk
my
about basketball.
negative attitude got into play, as unfortunately a lot of us do, and I learned very quickly. But what I didn't learn very quickly, Gene, was that I wasn't at a fitness level that I was okay with while eating the same foods that I was while playing basketball.
Yeah, right.
So my 6'2" frame blew from about 195 to a good old 255.
Oh,
Gene.
shit.
255.
And by the way, that's a perfect time because that's really when you're in college at that time.
The
when my
freshman 15, but
metabolism
it
went-
wasn't the freshman 15 for me, Gene. It
No,
was
it
the
was the
freshman
freshman.
65 for
Damn.
me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
because and plus your metabolism goes.
Well, not only that, but I mean, if we think about it from that type of standpoint, I was at a certain like caloric expenditure for the day. So like for those of
Whoa.
you at home who know, I mean, my resting metabolic rate was burning off a certain food, but when you take the activity away, it doesn't give you any more calories to burn because you're not burning off calories. And so I'm sitting here eating the same foods I am, but I'm not working out. So
Yeah.
while my metabolic rate is still the same, my total expenditure isn't going higher because I'm not working out. And so I'm sitting here eating the same foods, the same amount of calories I am with, and I'm not working out. And so I ballooned.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
got
sure
big.
you did.
And I got big in a quick time. And then it was almost like a lot of us might have the same feeling. As like I ballooned so quick that it was almost like, oh, it didn't really happen.
Yeah, right.
You know, like I'm like, oh, my clothes are tighter, but that's cool. Like I'm still this way. Like I still can dunk a basketball, but I can't dunk a basketball.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
I know.
So I ballooned up, and you know what? That was the hard hitting truth for me. Is
Yeah.
that I ended up in the same kind of predicament. I was overweight. I had high blood pressure at the time. I remember going into a exercise physiology class with an amazing, the best teacher I'll probably ever have. And I'll get to her later on in shows. But she was taking my blood pressure today, and she had to do it 3 different times, Gene,
Why?
because she couldn't understand how high it was.
Oh, really?
It was bad.
You remember what it was?
It was.
Let's compare blood pressures right now.
It was like one in the 150s over.
That was the top number.
Yeah, 150s over like 98.
All right, so just I'm not trying to outdo you.
Oh, that's fine.
But-
You can outdo me in that. It's
Yeah,
okay
right, that's
to
a good one,
outdo
right?
me in
Yeah,
that.
You're fine with it. But when we were talking blood pressure before, mine was 180 over 120.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm on meds for it now. Like, and I don't have to take as much as I used to because of when I'm working out and eating healthy, it helps.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's one of the main reasons why I got into this space and met you was because my 7-year-old was sitting in my lap, looking at our pictures and saying, "Dad, like our wedding pictures." And she said to me, "Dad, are you going to be at my wedding?" And I lied to her, and I said, "Yeah, I will, babe."
But
But
down.
No, I knew. I looked internally, and when I said it, I felt bad because I know I lied to her. And I said, if I don't do something with my fat ass, I'm going to be dead. I just knew it.
Yeah.
And so I strolled in here. We'll save another episode for our first couple weeks here at the gym.
Oh yeah, that'll be a fun
They're
story.
good stories, yeah.
If anyone listening, if you do CrossFit, you guys know your first workout and you know how bad that felt.
That was awful.
It was awful. But we'll get into that in the next episode.
We will. That'll be fun.
So anyway, I realized I had to lose the weight, and I held that weight. I carried that weight, Gene, for 3 years through college.
Wow.
3 years through college. Fluctuated up and down. Tried to get it better. Couldn't do much for it. Even with the major that I was in, exercise physiology, thinking, oh, yeah, you can use the tools he has for school. I wish it were that easy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, unfortunately. And I didn't end up losing that weight until I had a moment after college where I really looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you are not the person in the mirror because you don't like what you see. And anyone out there, if you look in the mirror and you love what you see and you're proud of what you see, more power to you.
You do you,
yeah,
girl.
Like you do you, boo boo. It's okay. If you look into the mirror and you are proud of what you see, I encourage you to flaunt it, walk it, be proud of it. There's self-image and being proud of how you look is amazing, men and women. But I didn't. I hated it. So I had to do something about it. And so, you know what? I took the journey. I applied what I thought I learned or what I learned in college.
Yeah.
And I got to a place where I could at least feel like I could begin something as serious as CrossFit.
Yep.
And, yeah.
You took the leap.
I took the leap.
And so it's interesting because everything you're talking about makes me think about like how it played out for me. And it was like I had to. It wasn't even like that I didn't like what I saw. But the most intriguing thing for me as I look back is this part. I didn't know how shitty I felt until I felt good. I thought the way that I felt.
Huge.
It is huge,
That's
and
huge.
it's so hard to see when you're in it. And I'm only saying this because I'm out of it now. Like, and even now, I know my body better, so I know I don't feel.
We
100%.
fluctuate.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there will be months where I go and I'm like, you know what, I'm holding like 10 pounds where I just, you know what, if I thought I lose it, I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what, there's months where I'm like down. I'm like, oh, I like this. Like I'm feeling good, regardless of what the scale says. If you're feeling good and you feel like you're healthy enough and your vitals are good and numbers are where they should be, then you're golden. But we all have those months, you know.
Sometimes we have those years.
Sometimes we have those decades.
Yeah, I know. No, but I think so. I just kind of want to wrap this up and do it with a nice little bow and kind of take us out here. But before we do that, I want to mention a couple things. So I think we're pretty close without even having an episode on the air yet to having a sponsor. So I'm not going to mention any names, but we're probably going to have some pretty cool, exciting news coming.
Big news, yep. For a beer drinker and fitness enthusiasts alike.
Yeah. Obviously, Paul Bunyan Fitness at paulbunyanfitness.com or paulbunyan.fitness, right?
Paul Bunyan Fitness. We'll clarify that for you folks. But
just look, Google Paul Bunyan Fitness.
Google Paul
and
Bunyan and
you'll
it'll come right up for you.
Yeah, and these guys have been just wonderful forever.
From top to bottom, from Rye to our amazing manager. We call her Stevie. Her name's Stephanie.
Was that a kiss-ass move?
No, it wasn't a kiss-ass move.
You sure?
I swear
that
it wasn't.
Smells like a kiss-ass
Listen,
move.
you can call them my kiss-ass moves. They'll be a little bit more obvious when that's a kick-ass move.
No, it's all good. So we're gonna talk sponsors. We're gonna talk shirts, right? So one of our mottos is I do all the health so I can drink all the beers, right? I do all the fitness.
I'm down.
So we got a cool logo. We're gonna have it on hats and stuff. It's gonna be great. You can check us out and subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcast, and Google Play. We're going to have live streams on Facebook, live on YouTube and on Twitch.
Just all the platforms.
Yeah.
All the platforms.
And we're going to be on Spotify. We're going to be on Stitcher. We're going to be on SoundCloud. So do us a favor. If you like it, get out there, subscribe to one or all of them, and make sure you give us a 5-star review. Tell everybody how much you love us. It'll really help to get this thing going. The other thing I want to mention too is we're going to have guests on here, and they're not only going to be beer people. It's
Oh,
going to be
no.
regular people from the gym.
That's all it is. Yep, we're going to open this up. We want this to be the realest experience possible. So it's going to be breweries, it's going to be beer drinkers, it's going to be people from our gym, it's going to be fitness enthusiasts, it's going to be doctors, nurses, people in the wellness community and the fitness community. We want this to be as real as an experience as we can for our viewers.
And we got to keep it entertaining.
Oh, well, that's why you're here.
Oh, well, I didn't do a very good job today. All right, so listen, until episode 2.
I know.
This has been a good first one.
I think so too.
Like we're 30 minutes deep into this.
I
thing
know.
already.
Wow.
It happened quick, didn't it?
Yeah, seriously, that's what she said.
All right, so what do you think? Do we get another beer in before we roll out of here, and we'll shut this podcast down and enjoy another?
Yeah,
beer?
I think that's the goal. We did 19.3 tonight, so I think
We did 19.3, so we can have 19.2 beers.
Well, you can. I'll drive you home. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right.
I got a ride coming to get me. But anyway, listen. Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
and we're
guys.
going to end it with this. Cheers.
Cheers.